Yee, yee, yee. What's going on, y'all? It's Chance. Welcome back to Be Yourself, the therapy sessions. You already know what that means. That means today we have another session. Today's session is kind of deep. It's real personal to me, but I'm pretty sure that it can probably hit you the same way that it hits me. And obviously, that's the reason why we're sharing. But today's session is called The Guilt of Outgrowing the People You Love. And this can be anything. This could be friendships, this could be partners, and unfortunately, this can be family. I've went through all three: friends, loved ones, and family. So let's get into it. Today's session is about something nobody warns you about when you start healing. The guilt that hits you when you start outgrowing the people you love. Not because you think you're better than them, not because you don't care about them anymore, but it's because you finally realized you can't stay in the same place you were broken in. Nobody tells you this. Healing costs you relationships you never thought you'd lose because healing forces reflection. Healing forces self respect. Healing also forces boundaries. And that is one of the reasons or things that affect certain relationships because people can't understand the boundaries that you now have for yourself because of your healing and what you won't allow anymore. The moment you set these boundaries with people who are used to not having any with you and doing whatever they wanted, you become different. You're distant. You changed. You switched it up. And suddenly they act like you betrayed them. But the truth is, you just stop betraying yourself. Familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. Look, a lot of people stay stuck because toxic love, it feels like home. So the moment you start becoming healthy, it feels like you're abandoning people. But here's the real question. Why should you stay in pain just to make someone else comfortable? If they loved you, they grow with you. If they loved you, they wouldn't want the old hurt version of you back. People who generally care for your evolution don't get offended when you evolve. I've had this happen on several occasions. One, when I first started doing TV and film, I was getting a buzz from my music. I was doing pretty great, you know, a couple of shows, magazines, stuff like that. I was working on Law and Order. Like it was nice. It was nice. And then I had someone related to me. Obviously, not saying no names because that's not what this is. Not here to out anything or anybody. But I had someone say, "Oh, you think you're Hollywood now? You think you're all that because you're doing something with yourself," which was crazy because I'd never spoken to that person about what I was doing or what I wasn't going to do. I was just living, existing, doing what I was supposed to be doing, working. Never even reached out to that person about that. And if that person had reached out, I would have responded. But had they had these feelings, maybe it could have been expressed in a different way. But that was just, well, I guess even now, that's me trying to give them excuses of how they were, which I shouldn't. Because the point is, I was doing something with myself, growing, becoming who I wanted to be, like elevating. And for some reason, if they felt slight, and again, me and this person didn't really have that kind of relationship. Like we were obviously cool because we're family and we shared times together. But during the last couple of years that this had happened, we weren't having any conversations. So it's not like I ghosted them or stopped talking to them. So those feelings, I guess they would have to tell you why they felt that way. But again, it was just something that I went through for me trying to elevate and grow. And then, fast forward years later, this might be a session, but I've admitted, I believe on earlier sessions, I used to be a different person. Like, yes, I did. I was kind of not manipulative, but basically manipulative. Um, Tell you kind of what you wanted to hear, and but I was living a different life. I'm talking, I was in survival mode, and it's an excuse, obviously, but I'm just telling you why I was this way. I was in survival mode. I was just trying to be something and somewhere. So I would tell you what you wanted to hear, so I get what I needed. I was just not really a great person. So as I've evolved and started to grow and been blessed to age, I started going on the healing process, the growth process of no, I can't do that. 'Cause me and my cousin were pretty toxic together. Um, Always competing with each other when we were younger. And as I grew up, I was just like, nah, I can't really do that. Like, I'm not really on that time anymore. Like, it's cool to compete and it's cool like to do certain things with each other, but I'm not gonna talk you out your name anymore. I'm not gonna say certain things. I'm not gonna cross the line. I'm not gonna hit below the belt like we used to. It just it just ain't cool. And that person really didn't know how to take it. So they just were like, oh, you soft and blah, 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 just said whatever they said. But like I said, as I continued to grow, heal, and elevate, that we became more distant because they hadn't reached that place in their life yet. So it was the old them trying to have a conversation with the new me. And yeah, not needless to say, it was toxic. So I had to cut that situation off. And fast forward, we were cool later on because obviously they finally hit their growth time, time to reflect on everything that they've been through and the reasons why they felt the way they felt during certain times and they got to grow and heal. So we finally, met back up at a later date, hashed things out, had conversations, and, you know, we got to be where we are because we are both in a great space right now. So listen, you're not wrong for wanting more. You're not wrong for wanting peace. You're not wrong for wanting better. You're not wrong for wanting better communication. You're not wrong for wanting relationships that feed you instead of drain you. Like, does it hurt? Of course, because there's memories there. Like letting go of people that you cared about. And this for me, especially like in friendships, like having a friendship that, oh, I thought like we were dope. Like I thought we were cool. I thought we were building. Like we laughed, we joked, we shared shit together. Like, we shared stories and reels and all that, that friendship shit, you know, and to not communicate and have to let that person go because, like, look, they're not where I want to be. Like they're not on this path. I don't know where they're at right now, and I hope that they do find where they want to be. But where I'm going, they're nowhere near where I'm going. And the famous thing, I don't know if someone said this before, and I've heard it and I've used it. And I'm pretty sure I've heard it before because subconsciously it probably like sunk in my brain. But I've used it in examples like to my kids and stuff when they go through their relationships now. I can't drown trying to save you. I can't drown trying to be in the waters that you're trying to be in when I'm not there anymore. I'm in a different place. And it sucks because there's memories. There was loyalty, history. But for my growth, my legacy, I had to decide, do I want the history or do I want the healing? And sometimes you just got to choose your future over your past. And again, I know that sucks. Trust me. I'm telling you. I know it does because I've been there. Like it's hurt to lose some of the friends that I've lost because I genuinely like cared about them. And I still care about them. I wish them the best and I hope whatever they're going through they get through and I hope that whatever wins that they aim for, I hope they get them. I want all my people, past or present, to win. I'm not like that where if we don't talk anymore, I'm secretly behind closed doors like, yeah, I hope they fail. I hope they fuck they shit up. That's not me. Like I hope they get to be where I feel like I am and the peace that I feel. Like I said, I've been like this with family. And it sucks because it's family. And you believe with family, like family's supposed to be there. But as we all grow older, we know that it is what they say, blood is thicker than water. Like we want that to be that. But sometimes we also realize that sometimes family isn't blood. We would like it to be, but Yeah, sometimes it isn't, and it sucks to rethink it right now in real time as I'm talking to you because I've had some family members that I was like, damn, I wish we were still rocking like where I'm at right now, and I could use you in the corner. I could, we could be doing things together. And the same thing with like exes. Like, do I want to be with them? Obviously not now, but at the time, yeah. Do I wish the best for him still? Yeah, of course. Because like I said, I don't wish ill on anybody. But I just remember going through those things, those memories. Like, damn, like this is where we were. This is where we could have been. This is where I thought we should have been. But obviously, we have different plans, and life takes you where it's supposed to take you, and it's written for you. So I believe it happened the way it was supposed to happen. Everything happens for a reason. But again, I was on something different, and they weren't there. They were still on their old stuff, their old ways, and I just couldn't get down like that. So had to let them go. So again, like I said, I'm only saying this over and over because I'm trying to let you know I do understand. Because if you're going through it now and you're probably like, oh, you don't understand. Like you're not going through what I'm going through. Like this is my family and it sucks. I do know. I did it. Or if you're listening like, oh, but it's my girl or this my boyfriend. Like I could never leave him because everyone else has left them. Trust me, I know. I've dealt with someone that was an alcoholic and I had to let go. Like I've been there. So trust me when I say I know what you're going through. So just let them go without apologizing. You don't have to hate the people you leave. You don't have to expose them and bring them out, make posts about them, talk about them. You don't have to argue. You don't have to explain your worth. You don't have to prove your reasoning. If holding on is hurting you, then letting go is self-love. Walking away with peace in your heart, I promise you, it's still love, but it's just love for yourself this time. If you're listening right now and you feel guilty for growing, I'm going to say this again and hear me clearly. You are not responsible for who refuses to grow with you. You are not responsible for who chooses not to grow themselves. Your evolution was not disrespect. It was simply survival. And if the old you had to die for the new you to live, then the resurrection is what you needed. It's not betrayal. The people who truly belong in your future and your present will not guilt trip you for leaving your past. I promise you that. And like I said, if you're not following us now, please follow because I would love to hear what you have to say. If you need to type it in the comment, because obviously audio, you can't do that. But if you need to type it in the comment and you just want to express yourself, you want me to check it out and you want me to respond so that so you're being heard. You can follow me on YouTube and Be Yourself Podcast, or you can do it on Instagram, Be Yourself Podcast Clips. If you feel like you need a vent or you need someone, then trust me, I'll read it. I'll listen. Or if you just feel like you need to vent and talk to someone else, then please talk to someone else. It's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to grow. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to be at peace finally. I promise you, this side is good. I'm so at peace. I have so much weight lifted off me. I feel better. The anxiety is less. Like I know it hurts, trust me. And it sucks. But you got to do what you got to do for your own survival. Don't die in the battle trying to save someone else that doesn't want to be saved. Save yourself. You heard what they said on the plane. You have to put your shit on first before you can save anyone else and attend to anyone else. If you don't save yourself in life, there's no way that you can try to help someone else because you're both lost and you both need saving. So, again, if you take anything away, take what I said. It's okay to heal, it's okay to grow, and it's okay to let people go. but our time's up. So, into the next session, love yourself. Tell someone you love them. Be kind. And as always, yeet yeet, be yourself.